I remember she looked at me and said, Bubba, are you not gonna join me in the shower? And that's when I ended up taking off my clothes and I went in there with his mom. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to a super embarrassing story. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear the whole thing. I remember this story all takes place back when I was in grade 6. So I was just entering middle school at this time, and I'm not gonna lie to you, one of the things I lacked a lot in middle school was me having the best hygiene. Because back when I was in middle school, the only things I cared about was video games, Pokemon cards, and basically anything other than my self-care, I guess. Like, I know nowadays we have a lot of like teenagers and guys out there, especially in middle school or high school, that care a lot about their looks to the point where they make themselves end up looking like a K-pop star or like, you know, any sort of major celebrity. But for me, back when I was really young, honestly, the only thing I cared about was sitting down playing video games in my room for like 12 hours a day and not coming out to even take a shower. I'm not gonna lie to you, I think I would only shower like 2 times a week back when I was in grade 6. So it would make sense why most girls did not like me back when I was in middle school. But at the same time, like I said, I was in grade 6. I didn't care. But I remember one time I ended up coming home from school one day and I basically ended up walking up to my parents, and my parents ended up telling me, Bubba, we're leaving for a little vacation. We're gonna be gone for a week. So we want to know, do you want to stay at your friend's place or do you want to, you know, have a babysitter? Now, me back when I was younger, I did not like babysitters whatsoever. Like, I really did not want to have a babysitter because obviously, if you guys don't know and you guys aren't fans of the channel, I basically did not have the best experiences with babysitters. So what I ended up telling them was, I have a friend I can stay with if that's cool. He has video games and everything. Like, I could just hang out with him. Okay, well, we'll give his mom a phone call and we'll see if she lets you come over. I remember like 2 hours went by and one thing led to another. I was actually allowed to go over there for the week and I was super excited. The reason I was excited was because my friend at the time, back when I was in grade 6, was a really hardcore gamer and also really rich. So knowing this, obviously he would have all the latest video games and basically have the newest consoles and everything that I basically did not have back when I was younger. So I remember on Sunday, my parents ended up packing up the car and one thing led to another. They dropped me off at my friend's place to stay with him for the week. Obviously, my friend was super excited about this and me and my friend would always end up staying in his room just playing video games the entire time. I am not joking. There wasn't a time where we didn't come out of his room and, well, did something else or even play outside. I guess you could say I grew up in the generation of video games. But I remember one thing was for sure, his mom that was technically taking care of me and my friend at the time would always come into the room saying, hey, Bubba, I got you some food. Are you hungry right now? No, I'm good, thanks. Bubba, I was just wondering, do you want your toothbrush on the left counter or on the right of the sink? Any's fine. I don't really care. I barely brush my teeth. Which is honestly kind of true because nowadays I brush twice a day like the average human should be doing. But back then when I was in like middle school, I would only brush my teeth maybe like once a day and that was in the morning. But going on with the story, I remember this mom of his would always basically be in my hair until I remember one specific day, because I remember this was a Tuesday and basically I was supposed to go to school that day, but I wasn't really feeling up to it, so I ended up skipping school. And I remember my friend ended up going to school. And basically one thing I would say is that my friend, he would take showers every single day. Like, his parents, I guess, kind of grew him up in the way where hygiene was super important, which I wish my parents did with me. But to be honest, they would make him shower every day, and me, I really did not care for it. And honestly, at this point, me not showering for 4 days, I guess really made me have a stench in the house where, I'm not gonna lie, every time I would smell myself or other people would smell me around that house, they would get kind of disgusted. So I remember when I was laying in my friend's bed and I was just playing on my Nintendo DS, out of nowhere, I ended up seeing his mom come into the room. His mom came into the bedroom saying, hey, Bubba, I made breakfast downstairs, but I really think you should take a shower. So do you think you could maybe go take one real quick for me? No thanks. I don't really feel like it. Bubba, but you should shower. I'm not gonna lie, you're starting to stink. Okay, that's fine. It's just normal human scent, is what I said back when I was younger. And honestly, it sounds stupid, but let's be real here. I just didn't want to take a shower. I remember she ended up getting really annoyed, but since she wasn't my actual mother, I guess she didn't really have the ability to do anything. Well, until she ended up having the ability. Because I remember what happens next, honestly, was really, really bizarre. I remember it was around like the afternoon, and basically around this time, school was definitely over, and I was waiting for my friend to come home. So I remember me being really excited to have my friend come home and play video games with me. I ended up basically going down the stairs and I ended up waiting for him at the front door. But as I was waiting for him, kind of just sitting down on the couch that was near the door, his mom ended up coming into the room and saying, oh, Bubba, you're out of bed. Do you think you could maybe now go and take a shower? No thanks. I don't really want to take one. But Bubba, you're supposed to take a shower. It's good for you. I don't really feel like it. Bubba, it's not about feeling, it's about your own self-hygiene. I remember when she was basically trying to lecture me about taking a shower, I would always just deny it and be in major denial, to the point where, I'm not gonna lie to you, she got super annoyed and super upset, to the point where she would start yelling at me. Like, I don't know what kind of mother yells at another person's kid, but it is not a thing to do to anyone's child. I'm just gonna say that right now for any parents watching. But obviously I understood where the anger was coming from, because I wouldn't take a shower. So me knowing that she got super upset, I remember I ended up running out of there, and I ended up running actually to my friend's bedroom and hiding under his bed. I'm not gonna lie, I guess you could say it really scarred me, but obviously I'm not gonna lie to you, the scarring got even worse, because what ends up happening next, I gotta say, really traumatized me in a way. Because I remembered back when I was younger, I still had like another 4 days to stay there, and I really just did not want to be there anymore. So I remember every time I saw his mom walking around the house, I would always end up hiding in different places. For example, the closet, or under the dining room table, to even hiding behind curtains. I would just hide in certain places just so his mom could kind of just lay off and stop telling me to take a shower. But then I remember one time I was hiding behind my friend's bed, just sitting down on my Nintendo 3DS, and out of nowhere, and I'm not joking when I say this, I end up seeing his mom holding a towel, and she looks at me saying, "Bubba, I could smell you from downstairs. You need to come with me right now." She ends up grabbing my wrist and actually dragging me to the bathroom, and she ended up throwing me in there and closing the door behind me. And me, like I said earlier, I was really determined not to take a shower, because I did not want to shower at their place at all. So I remember what I ended up doing was just sitting on the toilet for like 2 hours in their bathroom. Honestly, it wouldn't be the first time I was trapped in a bathroom, but I will say this, I did not want to be in there. So I would just sit there and just not do anything. I guess you could say I was being really over dramatic, but what ends up happening next was honestly insane. Because I remember it ended up becoming like, I want to say 6:30, and I really was questioning where in the world my friend was and why wasn't he home yet, because I didn't want to be home alone with his mother anymore. So I remember I ended up walking up to his mom and I said, "Hey, I'm just wondering, when is my friend coming back?" "Oh, honey, he's coming back way later because he has hockey practice, so you're gonna be alone at home with me." Okay, well, I don't know what to do while waiting." "Well, maybe you should try taking a shower, because you really need one, because you're really stinking up the place." I remember I looked at her and I just kind of looked down because I didn't want to reply to what she was saying. And I guess at that moment, that's when her eyes opened wide and she had a different idea of why I didn't want to take a shower. I remember she walks up to me and says, "Bubba, I can teach you how to shower if you want." "Wait, what? I know how to shower." "Well, let's just see if that's true then." And I remember she ended up grabbing my hand once again and walking me to the shower, and one thing led to another. I remember she ended up turning on the water and she took off everything. She took off everything. She ended up hopping into the shower and she started basically washing herself, and one thing led to another. I remember she looked at me and said, "Bubba, are you not going to join me?" And at that moment, I didn't really know what to do. I felt really peer pressured, but at the same time, me being in grade 6, I wasn't the smartest either, and I guess my hormones started to kick in, and well, one thing led to another. I'm not gonna lie to you, I ended up taking a shower with his mom. Honestly, I will say this was one of my least proud moments of my life, and honestly super embarrassing. And the fact that I'm telling this to you guys right now, please press that like button because it's super embarrassing. But yeah, I basically ended up taking a shower with his mom, and his mom ended up teaching me how to shower. And holy cow, can I just say, the amount of products that girls use in the shower is honestly bizarre and mind-blowing. But I remember me and her, we ended up taking a shower, and she basically showered me, I showered with her. And yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was really awkward seeing my friend's mom's cherries, but at the same time, I wasn't really complaining. And for all of you guys wondering, no, I did not do the devil's tango with my friend's mom, because that would be severely illegal, and honestly, that is just purely disgusting. I will say, after the shower though, I ended up smelling super clean, and my friend ended up coming home, and honestly, from the moment he got home, I guess his mom started to pretend that nothing happened. And me, I decided to stay quiet about it because obviously it was super embarrassing. Like, how am I gonna tell my own friend that I showered with his mother? No idea, but all I'm gonna say is that if you guys would shower with your friend's mom, then just follow for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.